Now, Elliot Kotek, our normal Hollywood correspondent, was unable to be with us this morning, so we've searched around to find a new guest to take Elliot's place this morning. And as it turns out, our new friend is based in Florida, so it's sort of Hollywood gossip Florida style. Our guest is Steve Faris, who is from the website cinesports.com, based in Florida, and he joins us this morning. Hello, Steve.
Hey, how are you?
Steve, doing really well. Now, your website is all about what? Movie gossip and sport gossip. I suppose they go quite well together, given that plenty of people from movies end up, having relationships with sporting players.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's actually cinesportstalk.com. And we wanted to bring the two together because, to be honest with you, with all the hard economic times throughout the world, people will still sit down and watch entertainment and still sit down and watch their favorite team play a game of baseball or football, basketball.
So it's a place to turn when the outside world gets you gloomy, really.
Right, and just speaking of that, is that museum. The museum's going to be the largest museum in the world, I think.
It has been travelling around. They've had requests for it to travel to all sorts of countries, and I know it's had a stint in San Francisco, and I think they were overwhelmed with deposits there. So,
right, that's incredible.
Steve, you'll have to tune in. You'll have to stream us on the web tomorrow morning to hear all about that. Now, tell us about the NFL recruit that isn't allowed to get tattoos.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Cam Newton, he is a rookie quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. And during his initial sit-down interview with owner Jerry Richardson, he was asked if he had any tattoos. His response was no, and Jerry Richardson, the owner, said, "Good, let's keep it that way." It's kind of a contradiction because, it's difficult to find an NFL player without a tattoo. And now here's an NFL player that's being asked to not get any tattoos. We initially explored several different avenues. Maybe it was a race thing because the rookie that they drafted a year before, Jimmy Clausen, was not asked that question. They also just got a new player, tight end Jeremy Shockey, who has tattoos all over his body. But there is another African-American player on their team who's been their star for the last 10 years, Steve Smith, who has tattoos all over his body. So now we just think that the owner's just lost his mind.
Well, maybe he thought this particular recruit looked so lovely and clean cut that he didn't want anything spoiling the visage.
Right. It's a different flavor for the NFL to have such a clean cut player coming out of college.
Wonder if it would affect his performance anyway. That's funny. Now, Steve, if we turn to movies now, Anne Hathaway's filming Catwoman at the moment. What's being said about how she's doing in that role?
Well, she's actually going to be in, Dark Knight Rises, and she's doing well. They're trying to keep all the paparazzi action to a bare minimum. They really don't want anything to come out of their camp. So the studios are generally closed. Obviously, the paparazzi are going to get their shots anyway. And I'm not sure if you guys heard or saw that she was on Conan O'Brien last week, and she actually had a funny little bit where she did a rap about the paparazzi that you can check out definitely on YouTube.
No, I haven't heard about that.
It's a hysterical bit. She goes into full character.
No, she's got a good sense of humour, Anne Hathaway, doesn't she?
Absolutely.
Tell us about the new movie Colombiana that's just been released with Jason Bourne, a Jason Bourne-esque film.
Right. Colombiana actually is coming out today. We were fortunate enough to attend the preview down here in South Beach on Monday, and Zoe Saldana, who has been in movies such as Losers and Star Trek, and that really small independent film that didn't do so well, Avatar.
Oh, that one, yeah.
She was, yeah. Not sure if you've heard of that, but she's been in those movies. And here she is playing the lead in this Jason Bourne type of movie. And it's really about, it starts off in Colombia, and she watches her parents be murdered in front of her. And it's really where the story takes off, and she wants to be a killer. She doesn't want to be, an actress or a lawyer or a doctor, but she wants to go out and kill people for the rest of her life. So that's where the story turns, and it's actually a pretty good action film, as Zoe Saldana tries to be the next hot, fiery female action star.
Now, you said you had a preview or premiere at South Beach. Do you get much premieres and big red carpet things going on in Florida?
Down in South Beach, we do get a lot. This happened to be our first, as we are still relatively new to with our site. But this happened to be our first, and it was jam packed. And Zoe Saldana, she said a few words before the film started. You can get more details of that on our website. But we look forward to heading to a lot more premieres. And down here in Florida, it actually does happen a lot down on South Beach. And, it's usually seen as more of a Los Angeles thing, but South Beach is little Los Angeles, I guess.
We're talking with Steve Faris, who's from cinesportstalk.com in the States. And so you're pretty new, are you, Steve? How hard is it to actually start a new site up and start getting all of the information and the news flowing through?
Well, at first it just came up as an idea to two friends talking. Scott, who is the other co-founder, Scott Peterson. He's the other co-founder, and it's just a conversation between friends, starting to do things that you like, right? Everybody wants to do that. So we decided, hey, we love sports, we love movies. Let's jam them together. Let's get a site going, and it took off from there. We have some contacts down here in South Florida, a couple of contacts up in New York City at one of their premier radio stations, and we've had a lot of help, and I think that's very important. Obviously, the social networking these days, Twitter. You can follow us at Twitter at Cinesports Talk, and you can also like us on Facebook. Facebook, just do a search for cinesportstalk.com. And for anybody who's looking to start up a site, social media is where it's at right now. That's where everybody is.
All right, so we looked at Columbiana, which has just been released, Steve. What else is happening in the world of new releases with the big movies opening this weekend?
There's a couple other ones. Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, which is a Katie Holmes type of thriller. It's a thriller. It's less gore, less blood, more of the unexpected. More of the classic type of horror movie. Where it's not all blood and gore. It's shock, more shock value than anything else. Where you're wondering what's going to happen next. And I'm wondering if Tom Cruise is curious to know why Katie Holmes chose something like this, since she's been in the dark for such a long time.
I understand Aussie Guy Pearce is in it as well.
Yes, absolutely. So it makes for a good classic horror film for those who are into that, and not into the really gory films that have been plaguing Hollywood as far as the scare factor is concerned. The other big release is Our Idiot Brother with Paul Rudd. I find Paul Rudd to be very funny. This particular movie, it just looks like they jam-packed all the funny parts into the theatrical trailer, and I don't know about you, but I hate when they do that. You laugh at the trailer, and then you go in, you laugh for 3 to 5 minutes at a time, and that's it. The rest of the movie's a letdown. So I'm a little on the edge about this one, but Paul Rudd is always funny, so I say give it a shot.
All right, good tip. What's doing well at the box office this week? I noticed it's a whole lot of sort of scary, big blockbuster movies, and then The Help, which is quite different to the rest of them.